Hello, and welcome back to The Journey We Take. Today's episode is one that I've been excited to share because it's one that truly connects everything: my writing, my brand, and even the deeper questions that have always fascinated me. Whenever I first started The Journey We Take, it was just me sharing poems and thoughts I wasn't really sure anyone would even read. I didn't imagine it would grow into an actual podcast or even a brand or a community of people who I feel like just get it, who feel the same longing to understand themselves and the world around them. And now seeing how it's evolving from poetry to conversation to design, it feels like I'm just watching my own little universe take shape. Each creation or piece of art is like a new planet in that system. So the journey we take isn't just a title anymore, it's become a living thing. It's becoming this ever expanding expression of connection between art, mind, and meaning. So if you've been following along, you might have seen my recent soft launch for the Cosmic Collection, a new branch of my brand inspired by my poetry and this idea of cosmic interconnectedness. One of the designs in that collection says, "As above, so within." And that phrase basically became the spark for this episode. It represents this belief I just keep coming back to, and that is that everything is connected. And I don't mean that just metaphorically, but literally. The phrase, "as above, so within," it is short, but it holds galaxies. And I definitely feel like it is philosophical, spiritual in a sense, and definitely a bit scientific. It is asking us to rethink something ancient in a more personal, modern way. I think sometimes when life feels uncertain or even overwhelming, it helps to zoom out, to remember that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves, something that's been evolving for billions of years. But lately, I've also been thinking about what happens when we zoom in. What happens when we bring that same cosmic perspective inward into our everyday lives, our emotions, our creative processes, our relationships. That's where the "so within" part comes alive. So I guess I want to start where it comes from, because you've probably heard the saying, "as above, so below." It's a line from Hermetic philosophy I was reading, and those ideas go back thousands and thousands of years. So it's rooted in mystical Egypt and Greece. It first appeared in a text known as the Emerald Tablet, which is basically just a mysterious ancient writing that has been said to hold the secrets of existence. And so that phrase essentially means that what happens in the heavens reflects what happens on earth, that there's a correspondence between all things. The macrocosm and the microcosm mirror each other. The ancients used to use it to explain everything, basically, from the movement of the planets to even the nature of our souls. And I think it was just their way of saying the universe and you are made of the same stuff. And so that's where I feel like my mind started to wander. I was thinking, like, okay, so what if it's not just as above, so below, but what if it's as above, so within? What if the patterns we see in the cosmos, the birth of stars, the pull of gravity, just the whole rhythm of expansion and collapse, how that also plays out within us, in our emotions, again, like in our relationships, even our growth, and the way that our thoughts seem to orbit around certain memories or dreams. That became just a seed for one of the pieces, I guess you could say, for the Cosmic Collection. So that "as above, so within," because to me, it's more than just a shirt. I'm trying to have more meaning within the designs. It's supposed to be more of a reminder just a wearable reflection of something that is merely ancient and deeply human, that, we are not separate from the universe. We are the universe, just aware of itself for a brief moment in time. In mythology, the heavens were never distant. The Greeks actually imagine constellations, as you probably remember learning back in school, that they were stories of gods and mortals woven into the night. Just each cluster of stars would tell a lesson about love or loss, just transformation, anything you can name. The Egyptians aligned their pyramids with Orion's belt, believing those stars were portals to eternity, which, a passageway for their soul, better yet. So you have all these civilizations having these beliefs based off of the night sky, the constellations that they see. Even I read in China, in ancient China, the stars were thought to mirror the empire. So harmony above meant harmony below. When a comet streaked across the sky, it was actually seen as a great change to come. So, those are some examples. Another one I had read upon was the Mayans looking up to Venus, building entire calendars around its cycle, believing it actually carried messages from the gods. So, yeah, just across every culture, the sky wasn't just up there, it was alive, and it was supposedly their teacher, and used as a map in a mirror. So when people looked up, they didn't feel small. They felt connected, as if the stars themselves were whispering, like, you came from me. We are one and the same. So on the spiritual realm of that idea, I feel like that also carries a beautiful truth that we are the microcosms of the macrocosm, and little reflections of this vast universe experiencing itself in human form. You can call it soul or energy, vibration, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's that same hum that runs through the galaxy and the oceans and our own hearts. And the mystics felt it. The philosophers even tried to explain it. And science seems to be confirming it. So every atom in your body was once part of a star. As Carl Sagan, who was an American astronomer and planetary scientist, said, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. And that was just basically reiterated from the beliefs mentioned prior. So if you just think about that for a second, the iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, oxygen that we all breathe, it's all forged in the cores of ancient stars billions of years ago. When those stars died, they exploded, they scattered all their elements across space, and those particles drifted and they gathered and eventually formed new stars, new planets, and I'd like to believe us. Material continuity is that idea that matter never disappears, it only transforms. And so that means we are physically connected to everything that ever was. We are ancient in ways that we can't even fully comprehend. And that's not just poetic, guys, that is physics. So when we look at the stars, we are not just looking outward, we're remembering something. We all go through these inner seasons, moments of stillness, especially in the wintertime, feeling dormant. But we go through change, collapse, and renewal. And when I started noticing those cycles within myself, I realized these are basically the same ones that the universe goes through. And if you compare it to like how stars die and then they're reborn, galaxies constantly colliding and forming new worlds, energy that never disappears, it just transforms. And so maybe on some level, that is exactly what we're doing. We're breaking, we're expanding, we are transforming and creating again and again and again. So I definitely believe it's comforting to think that even in our chaos, we are following the same rhythm as the stars. When I look at my life right now, I think a lot about balance between what I want to create, the things I want to say, and what I need to feel, between, doing and being. And that's something I've been learning lately, that you can't pour from an empty cup, even if it is full of stardust, that stillness is not just productive, or it is as productive as creation. And, just resting and reflection, they're all part of that cosmic process also. So I think that's maybe why this project means so much to me. It's kind of teaching me in a way that alignment isn't about control, it's more about trust and having faith, and using that faith to relinquish control enough to where you can just trust the rhythm of the world around you, the universe, and the rhythm within your own spirit. So, yeah, that's basically what as above, so within means to me. Again, just realizing that the same beauty and chaos that exists in the cosmos also is existing within us. And what we seek out there is already within us. All of our wonder, all of our wisdom, all the light, it is all here. We just forget. But our emotions, creativity, compassion, all of it, they are echoes of that same cosmic impulse to create, to grow, to expand. And maybe that's what art is actually for. Maybe that's what poetry and creativity are trying to do, or so I'd like to believe. They're just trying to help us remember. The stars reach outward and we tend to reach inward. Both are acts of becoming. When I hear those words, I'm reminded that the universe's story is still constantly unfolding, and it is unfolding through us. That all my joy, all my sorrow, everyone's joy and sorrow, our questions and the quiet moments, they all belong to something that is infinitely bigger, yet intimately close in a sense, as above, so within. We don't need to necessarily reach for the stars to be a part of them. We already are. And so maybe when we remember that, we start living with more purpose for ourselves, for each other, and that vast mystery that made all of this possible. Because maybe, our purpose isn't about worshiping what's beyond us and about honor. I think it's more about honoring what's within us, right here and right now. So just the next time you look up at the beautiful night sky, just remember that all this light that you have been seeing with your own eyes have traveled billions of years just to meet your eyes. And somewhere in that exchange, the universe is recognizing itself in you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So if this episode resonated with you, you can read the full blog version on the Journey We Take website. I'll link it below. And if you'd like to just simply carry that reminder with you, as above, so within, it is now part of the Cosmic Collection, which is live on the site, as well as some other fun designs, a part of the collection. This is the last day the promo will be running for this drop, so you can still get 10% off using code beginning10 until the deal stops running at the end of the day. There's so much more on the horizon for you guys, and I can't wait to share. Just thank you to everyone who has gotten a piece of merch so far, and just for anyone who's simply taking this journey with me. So until next time, keep exploring both the universe above and the one that is within you.